Supporters of Shiite cleric Muqtada al-Sadr stormed Baghdad's heavily fortified Green Zone in late April, frustrated over the perceived failure of Iraqi politicians to reform a system many Iraqis blame for corruption. It is a type of political chaos that serves the interests of Iraq's enemies, mainly the Islamic State, said UN Special Representative Jan Kubish in a Security Council briefing. Analysts say securing a legitimate and responsive government could be key for Iraq's long-term stability.
Ultimately, we don't see insurgencies or terrorist activities on this scale in countries where governments are responsive to the needs and the demands of their populations.
Nusayba Yunus also says the U.S.-led focus on military efforts to oust Islamic State militants from Iraq could have limited results.
We are not going to really tackle the root causes that are driving radicalization in Iraq unless we really deal with what these protesters are pointing out, which is that the Iraqi government is corrupt and inefficient and has really failed to deliver even the most basic services.
In Turkey, the abrupt resignation of Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu leaves the U.S. without one of its key allies in the country.
It, I think, complicates things insofar as Davutoglu was very well known in Washington. He was, of course, the architect of Turkish foreign policy over the last several years.
But the Carnegie Endowment's Perry Kamak adds the U.S. has little leverage in Turkey's internal politics. The State Department, though, expects Turkey will continue to be a strong partner in the anti-Islamic State coalition, despite the country's internal political dynamics.
Turkey's not blind to the threat that it faces on its own soil along its border. So Turkey is very aware.
A key concern for the U.S. in both countries, say analysts, is striking the balance between offering support while not being perceived as meddling. Pam Dockins, VOA News, the State Department.